So what exactly is 10 pounds equal to anyway? Let's find out. Ready, run, and gun? It's time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to Truck Talk. Woohoo! Truck Talk time again. Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. What is 10 pounds? You know, back in the day, back when the Classic actually had some cool rules, everybody got issued the same tackle box. Back then, it was the Plano 777. I call it the Classic Hotel. I guess basically what it is, a hotel. And I've got one. Love it. It's built like a tank. But it came already pre-weighed. I haven't weighed mine empty, so I can't give you a generalization, but it's pretty heavy. Heavier than what they make nowadays. And it's built to last like nowadays too. That sucker ain't gonna warp. But what is 10 pounds of tackle? Now that's what you were allowed to have in that box. You're allowed to have 10 pounds of tackle. And whatever you had that was over 10 pounds, Ray Scott himself got to pick the lures he wanted to keep out of it. Hank Parker's the one that stood up and said, he took out more lures and he only weighed like 9 pounds and something. And Hank said, if you can take them out, I should be able to pick the ones I want to put back in. And he did. But 10 pounds of tackle, guys, you'd be amazed how much stuff is in 10 pounds. 10 pounds, probably you think to yourself, well, man, by the time you had a few crankbaits in there and a couple of bags of worms, you're done. Actually, not necessarily. Not necessarily. See, I've done the math on this. Now, whether this is, I'm not going to state this is accurate, okay? So don't try to hold me on that one. But you'd be surprised how many lures fit in a pound. Just a pound. Take, for instance, a pound of hard baits. We'll say, crankbaits, top waters, jerk baits. You figure about a ½ ounce roughly weight, which includes hooks and everything. So you're looking at baits that are under a ½ ounce, like 3/8 to a ¼ ounce, stuff like that. You realize that's 35 lures? 35 lures in 1 pound. Still got 9 to go. That's pretty incredible. Well, what about spinner baits? Let's say you do 3/8 ounce spinner bait. All right, so a 3/8 ounce spinner bait roughly is going to weigh about 5/8 of an ounce. By the time you add blades, skirts, stuff like that. A 3/8 ounce spinner bait, you can get roughly about 25 of them dudes in a pound. 25. If you do ½ ounce, you're going to have to average that out to about 3/4 ounce spinner bait. Again, blade, skirt, everything, add weight to it. That's 18. 25 and 18. And that's just 2 pounds. Well, what about jigs? Jigs. Let's say you do a 3/8 ounce jig. That's about the average. Everybody carries a 3/8 ounce jig. By the time you add the skirt to it and everything, you're looking at roughly a ½ ounce, give or take. How about 42 of them suckers? 42 jigs in 1 pound. Wow. And that's just 3 pounds being covered so far. You got 25 hard baits. Well, actually, that's 4 pounds if you think about it. You got 25 hard baits, or 35 hard baits, 25 lighter spinner baits, 18 of the heavier spinner baits, and 42 jigs. But wait, there's more. How about worms? Soft plastics. Your average bag of worms. Now, before I get into this, you got to realize a lot of the manufacturers go by weight. Which is why, like, if you get you might get a 20 pack of 6-inch worms, but you might only get a 15 of 7-inch worms. It go by weight, which is a good way to do it, because I've poured soft plastic for tournament guys before too, and it's definitely you use up more material as you get with bigger lures. So you need to keep the quantities down in order to be able to keep yourself in business, basically. But let's just say your average bag of worms, no matter what it is about 3 1/4 ounces. That's your average, okay? Give or take. Like I said, these numbers aren't exact. I'm just kind of giving you a roundabout figure here. 3 1/4 ounce in those suckers, you can get 5 packs of worms in a pound. 5 packs. Seems to me, I get all the hard baits and stuff, all that out of the way in the first 4 pounds, and spend the next 6 pounds putting soft plastics in that box. You know, that includes trailers, chunks for the jigs, all that stuff, man. Includes all that. But think about that for a minute. You got 6 pounds left. That's 30 packs of worms. And some of the guys back in the day said, man, it's kind of hard to pack that box for a lake. We don't even know where we're going. It looks to me like you can have a ton of baits in there and cover any situation you come across. You know, literally. But isn't that some interesting facts? You know, and that's all 1 pound each. You know, 5 packs of worms in a pound, 35 hard baits in a pound, 25 3/8 ounce spinner baits in a pound, 18 half-ounce spinner baits in a pound, 42 jigs if you're 3/8 ounce. If you have 1/4 ounce, you can go even more. Isn't that crazy? Now, I don't know if those numbers really hold up to what they had to do back in the day, because, you know, basically that box ain't going to hold that many lures. It'll be close. It'll be really close. But it's, yeah, I don't see it. I really don't see it happening like that. I just want to run them numbers by you, get you thinking a little bit. You know, some people here, you know, well, man, 10 pounds of lures ain't a whole lot to put in that box, then, is it? You know, that box holds more than you think it does. But at the same time, that's a lot more lures than that box will probably hold. So how guys came overweight, I don't know. But I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's dang possible. I guarantee you it is. I mean, Hank Parker did. Jimmy Houston did. Of course, part of his weight came from a brick. I don't know. I want to know how that got in there, Bill Dance and Roland Martin. I want to know. Actually, has more Bill than anything else. If you've never heard that story, check it out. It's hilarious. And of course, you got to do it to Jimmy. He's got a good sense of humor anyway. But I just want to run them numbers by you guys. Get you thinking a little bit, man. If you think you have too many lures, weigh them, see what you got. But I got a box I'm putting together, and I want to weigh it before I do it, and then weigh it afterwards, just for kicks, just to see what I got in there. That's all I got today, guys. So until next time, remember, new techniques are trendy, but bass don't change. May the Father bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name, and as always, fish on.